Good morning and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you're a subscriber or if you've watched before, and welcome if this is the first time you've been here. Now, you'll notice that I'm in a very different place to where I normally film. I'm either out in my garden or I'm in the kitchen. Mostly I'm in the kitchen, but there's been big changes. So this video is going to be very different to my normal videos. So I'm just going to update you on what's been happening. So you may have noticed, if you've been following me for quite some time, that I've changed. I have lost a lot of weight. I have lost 70 kilos. I've lost 50 in the last 12 months, and I lost 10 kilos prior to that. No, sorry, I lost 60 in the last 12 months, and I lost 10 kilos prior to that. So total of 70 kilos lost. I am still losing weight, but this video is not a weight loss video. It's just to let you know that I haven't been doing very much cooking because I don't want to tempt myself. You'll know if you look back at my previous videos that I made cakes and pies and pastries and jams and all sorts of things. Well, when you're not eating that sort of food and you're making it, it's just asking for trouble. Well, for me it is. So that's why the videos, the last few videos that I've done, or quite a few, have been very sewing centered. So I've been concentrating on my sewing. I have started a small business. Now I'll put the links up. So my small business is called Miss Mary Designs, and you might think, why Mary? Well, that's my middle name, and I couldn't register a name with using Diane or Di. All the good names were taken, so use my middle name, and so my business is called Miss Mary Designs, and I'll put some links up for that. I've got a Facebook page, an Instagram, a website, which isn't quite up and running at the moment, but yes, I'll be getting all that up and happening. Now, on the weight loss front, you may think, wow, that's drastic. It is, to lose 60 kilos in a year, like that's more than a kilo a week, obviously. But without delving too much or boring people too much about my weight loss journey, I have been documenting it. Every single week I take photos and I do a little piece to camera to explain how my week has gone. Sorry, there's somebody walking past my window. I'm just a little bit distracted. And so I am going to start a new YouTube channel, or by the time this video goes out, I'll have a new YouTube channel, which again I will link to. So if you're interested in what I did, how I did it, and how I went for a whole year without even deviating once, follow my journey. You may like to investigate. It may be something that would work for yourself, but the link will be in the notes, and I'll also put it up on the screen. Now, just to give you a little bit of background, as I said, I'm not going to go into it in big detail, but I don't know if you're aware, but you may have seen in some of my videos that I did things very awkwardly. I would look at my videos and I would see how I was stirring something, or how I was picking something up, or you'd notice that I used to use plastic bowls a lot and not glass bowls because they were too heavy for me. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and it was to the stage where I was bedridden. Most weeks I was bedridden for at least a day. Sometimes I'd be bedridden for 3 days. Couldn't walk, couldn't drive, couldn't even hold a toothbrush to clean my teeth. And I have an electric toothbrush. It was really to the point where it ruled my life, and that also slowed the videos. I really would have to have a good day, and then I'd say it's a good day, quick, make a video. I won't be able to do much else, but I can do a video. So that was a driving force to try to look for a solution diet-wise with the rheumatoid arthritis, because I don't like taking a lot of drugs. I have side effects, and everything that the doctors tried was not working, and was actually, the side effects were worse than the rheumatoid arthritis. So that was my journey to cure, or not cure, you can't cure yourself, but to go into remission from rheumatoid arthritis. And I'll happily say that I have achieved that, I would say 90% gone. So if I deviate from my eating plan at all, any little way, I will feel it. Not to a big extent. I'm not bedridden, but my hands are sore. I can't do things. My shoulders will be sore. Yeah, I can still drive. They're good enough to drive, but I'm restricted in what I can do. So, you know, it's a no-brainer. It hasn't been hard. Sorry, I've got the camera on my table here, and I just banged the table, which sort of gave it a bit of a shake. Yeah, it's a no-brainer. Why would I have anything that is not on the diet plan and know that I'm going to suffer for 2 or 3 days? So it hasn't been hard to stick to it. The weight loss is just part of it. It wasn't why I changed my eating plan. Now, I did used to eat very, very healthy food. I grew my own stuff. As you know, I showed you my garden. I used to grow all my fruit, vegetables, nuts. Not all of them. You know, there's stuff that I wouldn't have grown, like carrots take so long to grow that I used to buy a lot of carrots, but I did used to grow them as well. But my dog Zeus, who features in a lot of my videos, he loves carrots. He learnt that he could just go and pull them out. So I was forever trying to grow them and keep them from him. But yeah, that's another story. But now I don't grow any fruit or vegetables. Well, I grow the fruit because I got the fruit trees, but I don't grow the vegetables because I don't eat them. And yeah, plants have oxalates. It's just something that's in them. Most people won't be affected by them, but people who have rheumatoid, well, not rheumatoid arthritis, but who have autoimmune disease, it is the cause of inflammation. The worst things are rhubarb, spinach, silver beet, those sorts of things. And that was the most of what I used to eat from my garden. So I was eating what I thought was a very healthy plant-based diet. I did eat chicken and fish, but not much red meat. And now that I've learnt more about diet and rheumatoid arthritis, I was actually doing the worst things I could. And yeah, so anyway, follow my new YouTube channel. Now, I'd like to thank everybody who has subscribed. I now have 504 subscribers, and I am so grateful for that. I'd love to get to 1,000, and then I can monetize the channel. But even with 500, I can do a lot. So what I'd like to suggest is that if you could help me out, I've got to have 3,000 watch hours, and I don't have that. I think I've got about 1,800, but it only goes back the 12 months. So if you could help me out over the next few weeks, even if you're not watching my videos, put them on, let them run in the background, and I can get those watch hours up, and hopefully I'll get my subscribers up. So where is the channel heading? I understand that with the change, a lot of you may have subscribed because you're looking to see cooking and gardening videos, and that is not the direction of my channel now. As I said, I've started a new business. I will be renaming this channel to Miss Mary Designs, and it will have a business focus. So if you're doing a hobby or you're wanting to start a little side hustle, this is where the YouTube channel will go. I will be talking about how did I start my business, what I needed to do, some of the pitfalls, some of the good things that I did, and I'll be featuring some of the things that I'm doing in my business, like I'm doing the markets. So you'll see me at the markets. I'll show you how I set up at the markets. I'll show you how I find new markets and which markets work for me and all that sort of stuff. So if, as I say, if you want to start a side hustle, or if you already have a side hustle and you're wanting to look at how somebody else does it, this will be the channel. Will I still include some cooking things? Probably not. I'll probably keep that for the channel that I'm going to start, which will be based on the diet that I'm following. So there may be cooking, but it will be fairly limited. Will there be gardening? No, I don't see that there's room for it, seeing that I'm going to change the channel name and it will be more a business-based channel. But I'm not gardening as much either because I'm very focused on the business and it's taking all my time at the moment. So I'm just doing maintenance in the garden and that's it. My garden is very well established. As for my vegetable plots, they are just sitting vacant. Yeah, who knows what's going to happen down the track, so they can sit empty for the time being. So if you find that this is not the channel for you now and you'd like to unsubscribe, I understand that and I thank you for subscribing in the first place. But if you'd just like to leave it sitting in the background, maybe you might or might not watch the newer videos, that's okay too, because if too many subscribers drop out, then yeah, it's starting all over again and having to build my channel following. But anyway, we'll see what happens there. But thank you for joining me on the journey so far. It's been great. I love that we have a sense of community. I love that people are messaging me and asking me little questions about some of the videos. Some of the videos I didn't explain enough in, and it's been great to answer those questions that have come through in the comments. And some of you have given me some really good tips and tricks, which I didn't know about, so I've learnt along the way too. So thanks for joining me along the journey so far. I hope you continue to join me. And even if just out of curiosity, you go and have a look at my new YouTube channel about my new way of eating. Now, give it a couple of watches, because what I will say is I did come across this way of eating and thought, that's crazy. Probably 6 months before I started it. But I didn't realise, I thought it was more of a weight loss thing. And I thought, no, I'll lose my weight the healthy way. Well, I am here to tell you that I have never, ever been healthier than I am now. I don't have pain. I can sleep at night. It's changed my sleeping patterns. It's changed a lot of things that I never even knew it would address. My hay fever is really, really under control from the way of eating. I don't have wax build up in my ears that I have to get syringe from the doctor every 12 months. Who'd have thought? There are so many changes to my life, to my health, from changing my way of eating. And it is a radical eating plan, and a lot of people think that it's unhealthy, but I'm here to say that, as I've just said, I've never been healthier. Lots of little niggly things, which I just put down to old age, have resolved. And I have so much energy. I am going to the gym. I have so much time on my hands because I'm not spending a lot of time cooking, shopping, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, everything's changed. So go to the new channel if you want to follow it, or if you want to find out more. But as I said, don't be dismissive, because it does sound rather radical. Follow a few of the different videos that I put out. I will be putting a video out every week. As I said, I've been doing this for 12 months and I've been videoing every week. So you'll see, how did I cope with Christmas? I had the family staying here for a week, and I did not feel like I was on a diet, but between Christmas and New Year, I lost 5 kilos. Who does that? And I say, I didn't feel like I was denied. I didn't feel like I was on a diet. But you'll have to wait till that video comes out to see what I did. But if you do follow the journey, you'll see how I coped with things coming up like birthdays and eating out. And you may have heard me mention before that I work in film and television, and sometimes we're on set I have to leave home at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I don't get home until late in the evening. So, doing a 14-hour day, they put the food on, not what I can eat. But how did I cope with that? How did I stay on the plan? And how did I cope? So it's all in every week by week I talk about what obstacles I overcame, what went well, what didn't go well, and all those sorts of things. So follow that and give it a good watch. Like I would say, watch at least 5 videos and then you'll decide if it's for you or not. So love it if you could subscribe to that channel as well. But it's not going to be on this channel. It's got nothing to do with what this channel's about. So that's why I'm starting a new channel. Anyway, thank you for joining me. Before I go, I might just give you a tour of my sewing room. So that's what I'm doing in my business. I sew, I knit, I crochet, and things that I make, I sell at the markets. I'm setting up an online store, and you might like to go and check that out. And I'll just give you a tour of my sewing room. So what can you see behind me? You can see my wall of fabric. When I have people come in here, like friends or family, they say, oh, you've got a spotlight shop in your house. I think I basically have, but I need to have everything on hand because, I could be making things from girls' dresses, some shorts for maybe boys, t-shirts. I make bags, aprons, headbands. I make headbands. What else do I make? I make lots of things. Oh, I crochet beanies. I make bucket hats. I do a whole range of things. Keeps me interested, but at the moment I'm still feeling my way and finding out what sells the best. So also I find out what I like to sew the best because, it would be no good being in a business making things that I just dread making and hate making. So it's got to do with what I like to do and also what's selling. So let's have a look at my studio. So I'm still sharing space with my son, so I have left his drum kit set up and it's in the corner out the way. Then we come around to my fabric. So I've got all my fabric. I've even got bolts up on top. Some stored there. That's out the way because that's winter fabric, so I won't be using that for a while. You might like to know how I've got it organised. So I've got it organised into fabric type. So over here I've got cottons, quilting fabric. There's some, I use all that for backing. Down here I now go into heavier weight, drill fabric, canvas. Down the bottom there's lots of canvases. There's some faux suede and leather down there as well, and also up here I've got some canvases. They're for bag making. Over here I've got all my licensed prints, and at the end of that row I've got all my Christmas fabric. Then down here is my stretch. There's jersey, there's t-shirt fabric, there's other sorts of textured fabric. Here is all the lycra. I use a lot of lycra in headbands. Down here, this is muslin and a lot of sheer fabrics, dress fabrics. This one is 100% cotton, but it's a looser weave. Then I've got flannelette and minky and some fleece. Then down the bottom I've got toweling, corduroy, and just a mixture of other fabrics. So that's what we've got there. Over here, I have Molly, my mannequin. I'll move her out the way. There I have all my yarn. So I'm not needing to access that on a regular basis. I'll just come and get however many balls I need for doing a project, and then it's stored out the way. Here are some of the projects that I've finished. So these are all crocheted blankets. Over in the corner there, I've got baby blankets. I don't have a lot of the baby blankets here because I sell them at the markets, and they are proving quite popular. Coming around, I have my light box. So there's a nice big light box there. That's for taking all the photos, and it's got various backdrops, so I can put different colours for the backdrops. So that's what I've got there. Down the bottom, I've got my gold stamping equipment. So I make my own labels, which I'll show you in a moment. And I use my gold stamping equipment for that. There's my guillotine. And then I've got my art supplies down there. A couple of spare sewing machines and a spare overlocker. Someone gave me an overlocker. They broke the needle. The needle went inside the machine and it's jammed, so it needs to go for a service. And then I've got 2 spare machines down there because I have upgraded. Over here, I'm currently working on a lot of Christmas projects, so I'm leaving all my Christmas things out. There's beads and buttons and bells and ribbons, but I've just grouped all that together so it's quick, easy to get to. Got my rulers on the wall. Here I've got my heat press machine. So I use that for a variety of things. I'm not doing t-shirt transfers at the moment, but I may be doing them in the future. Oh, there's a few Christmas decorations that I've done that I'll be taking to the market. It's not quite finished off. I need to put the hanging loops on them yet. So I've got tools, various tools hanging up. And I've got my cupboards there. That's got all my packing equipment so that I can send my orders out. So it's got my bags and all my postage stuff. Over here, I've got some more art supplies. And let's turn around and have a look at the other side. So over the other side of the room, I've got my office set up. And then down here, I have got some of my machines. So at the back, I've got a basket of pre-cut things which I'm working on. I've got my overlocker, and that's just a Singer heavy-duty sewing machine. I do love that because it's got the automatic thread cutter. Then I've got my threads hanging on the wall behind me and a few little tools there as well. And we're coming around. I've got a lot of storage in my cupboard here. I have more yarn up there. So there's foam and there's some backing up there as well. Things that I don't use a lot. Got more fabric over here on the rolls. Those 2 baskets there, they are my scrap fabric. So I've got one with little pieces and one with larger pieces, and I go through that on a regular basis because I do make a lot of small things. Then over here I have an industrial sewing machine, a Singer, and then I have a leather machine or upholstery machine over here, and that's for my bag making. And you can see there's a bowl with water in it, the blue thing on the floor, that's the dog's bowl, because my beautiful dog is always with me. So I've got 2 little beds for him, one there, so he can sit behind me when I'm on the machine, and I've got one on the other side so that he can sit behind me while I'm doing all the cutting. Now, I've taken a lot of my stock out of the markets because it was winter stock. When I'm not selling beanies now because it was 30 degrees a couple of days ago. So down here, I'm just storing in these totes. That's all my cotton yarn in that one, and that's patterns in that one. But in the other ones, I've got stock from the market. So I've got beanies and those sorts of things. I have a spare desk here, so I can just pull that out and set up my my gold stamping there. And there's my iron and the water for it. You'll notice on my desk I always have 2 bottles of water in here because I'm always in here working. Now look at the size of I've got a stool there on the floor. I have my grandchildren coming in on a regular basis, and we do stuff in here. We do crafts and we do cutting. So my granddaughter was here yesterday and she was standing on the stool, and I've got a lovely big cutting bench there. I've got a lovely big cutting bench. So that's where I cut all my fabric. I mean, I don't need it that big, but I can be cutting on one side, and then if I need to do something, I can come and work on the other side of it because it's clear. The cutting doesn't take up the whole bench. So I can spread out my fabric, cut out a garment. I can be working on it, sew it, know that I'm going to cut out another one when I've finished, and I can leave everything there, all my tools for cutting, my cutting mat, the fabric can be left there, and then I've still got room to work. So that's the room. It's lovely to work in here. I've got a window which goes out to the front of the property. I usually have the curtains set like that so people can't see in, but it lets a lot of light into the room, and depending on when I'm standing at the cutting area, I can see straight out, and I get to see what's happening in the street. So that, in a nutshell, is my studio. I'll try not to go too fast. Oh, one thing that I do want to show you. Now, if you look closely, you'll see that I've got rulers and it says Bunnings on it. Now, I have put them on all my equipment. Why there is 2 is because one is in inches and one is in centimetres. Now, I was walking through Bunnings the other day, and if you're not from Australia, Bunnings is like a big box store like Lowe's is in USA. It's a hardware store, but this was in the kitchen department. I just happened to be cutting through, and I saw that they had paper tape measures hanging up, and it said, free, please take one. Well, I took 8 because I said, what can I do with these? So I've put them down. You can see that they're sticky tape. There's a little bit of bubbling on that one, but it still works. I mean, it's fantastic. I've got them there on all my, when I'm sewing or when I'm cutting. I was cutting handles the other day out of some, just some webbing, and I used the one there to just measure it. It was 70 centimetres. I did not have to go and get my ruler. I've got rulers all up on the wall there. I've got my my quilting ruler as well, which is, you can see hanging up as well, which is what I usually use. And there you go. You can see some of the bags that I make. I love that bag. That one is nice and bright, so I can hang it up the markets and it will attract people. It's very, very big tote bag. But I do other bags as well. There are lots of different bags there. And that's why I need the upholstery machine. And there's the other dog bed. So there you have it. That was my sewing room. Hope you enjoyed that quick tour, and you might like to share some things with me that you do in your sewing room, some nice hints and tips and tricks. I'm always open to new ideas. So thanks for joining me, and I hope that you continue on the journey on my YouTube channel and perhaps check out my new one. So, you know what? I do want to say one more thing. Perhaps my new channel isn't something that you need, or, you know, perhaps you don't need to lose any weight, or you don't have rheumatoid arthritis, or it's not just for rheumatoid arthritis. It's, a lot of people have said that they have had remarkable reductions in symptoms from health issues that they have, including multiple sclerosis, osteoarthritis, lots of different autoimmune diseases. But what I say is, if it's not for you, you don't have any of those issues. We all know someone who has issues. Perhaps in a gentle way, you can say, can I share a video with you? This is what helped one lady that I'm following on YouTube. but it has helped a lot of people. You might want to just take a look, because it might be something that you might want to try. And, you know, as I say, it's not about the weight loss. That's secondary. The weight loss just comes along with it. But yeah, I've got to say my life has changed because I've got so much energy, because I'm not in pain. I've taken up rock and roll dancing. I'm going to be resuming roller skating very soon. I'm at the gym all the time. I walk. I don't have pain in my feet anymore. I've got a new lease on life. I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I'm as good as I was in my 20s before I developed health problems. So, you know, you might like to share it with someone, but be gentle in the way that you share it. Make sure that you're saying to them, you know, not just, you need to lose weight. This lady lost 70 kilos. You should try this. It's not the way. It's the way to turn people right off. But if you say this addresses a lot of health issues, but as a side benefit, there's weight loss as well. Now, not everybody loses weight. Depends if you, look, I had a lot of weight to lose. But anyway, that's just one last thing I'd like to say. So thanks again. If you've enjoyed this video, thumbs up, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.